Hello, hello, everybody. Let's go ahead and get into the story that we pulled. What was it? 4 a.m. I don't know what's going on with the whole energy of things, but it just feels kind of weird. Like someone's planning a party and you're not involved in the plans, type of thing. Um, I don't know, but that's all right. And I keep telling myself, hey, maybe the party's for you, and maybe that's why you're not supposed to know about it, and maybe that's why it feels so weird, but it doesn't feel like a good party. You know what I mean? So here we are doing our story. There's a wrench in, we're starting off with a wrench. The overall energy was the 9, which is learning a lesson. And then we spoke about that network card in the shuffle and pull. Some kind of website or a network of some kind of organization, or some kind of company, because companies use websites, right? And then we had the Marilyn Monroe card there that is, the card is called Hollywood. And lipstick is living in peace is my motto. Always live in peace so that way you can rest in it. Meaning you want to make sure that you're making decisions that create a peaceful atmosphere and does no harm to others, respectful, honesty, transparency, authenticity. I mean, those are the things that create peace in my world. Quite honestly, I've never been a very good like to play jokes on people. I have not been very good at that. I'm not very good at telling any kind of fibs or anything because it's like, I don't, first of all, if I'm playing a joke on someone and I'm like trying to like tease someone joke, it's like I can't hold myself. I have to tell the punchline or I have to be honest and be like, no, no, I'm just kidding. It's not like that. Um, like right after I say the joke, it's like I can't hold it back. Um, I can't stand to see people in a place of confusion or perplexity just because it's like if I have the answer, if I have the information, I want to share that. And I don't want to leave someone in a state of confusion because I know it's not a good place to be. And then as far as telling a fib, it's like, how do you remember what you said? Right? And it's like, what do? Write it all down and go back and check your notes or something? It's like, I can't even remember my passwords. I don't even remember my multiplication tables entirely. You know what I mean? So it's just like my mind and my brain are not set up that way to be able to kind of house that kind of information. I need all the room I have in there for the facts and information that I have to help people. So going back to the Mary Monroe, I was saying in the shuffle and pull, it's like they said that she, you know, did that to herself. I mean, whether someone came in and manipulated her, oh, that's interesting. Whether someone came in and manipulated her pharmaceuticals or her vitamins or whatever it was that she was taking that evening, or manipulated if she was taking a bath, her bath salts or whatnot. If they went in and manipulated that, or someone came in and actually created the scene to look as a certain way when it wasn't exactly the way that it was. I don't know. But the lady was intelligent. She was smart. My feeling is that she kind of ended up with too much information and someone found out she had too much information and they could not afford for her to have that information. My little blocked painting is not wanting to stay up. So I'm going to put it here. That's to block out the negativity from the environment outside. Um, I mentioned in another story, I have a neighbor who used to always come outside when I would be outside, or would always show up outside when anyone was coming to my place. It's like they were always out there, always watching, always visible. And anytime we'd have a conversation, he'd either be recording me or I don't know, folks. I even asked him about that and I don't know. But I did notice they're having bug issues, like little insect issues down at their place. So I don't know what that's about. Anywho, but it's all alleged, right? Because I don't have any concrete evidence. It's just my thoughts that come and tell me that something's amiss. You know how you have your instincts. You're just like, something's not right here. And anytime I ever discounted those feelings or thoughts, it always brought trouble. So I have to honor those and respect those. But let's get into the story. TMI. So we've got this wrench on the table. There is some kind of work that's being done or needs to be done regarding a ball and chain. There could be a ball and chain of sorts that is holding someone back, weighing someone down. Ball and chain has also been used previously. I don't know if they still say it, but a spouse would say, oh yeah, that's my ball and chain. Kind of, someone who keeps me in the house, so to speak, or off the market or whatever. There could be a visitor. It's saying a visitor who is allowed to be in someone's vicinity. But it could be a friend of this ball and chain, so to speak, some kind of situationship. This is going to be a picture of a ship. I'll probably go ahead and draw that out today since I have the time. It's a situational ship. It's a relationship. It's a family relationship. It's some kind of, it could be a work relationship. It could be as I said, a situational ship. It could be a third party type of ship. Whatever kind of ship, but it's some kind of connection to somebody. Now, this person is being forced to not say anything. This is my sinister shush card. I do have another shush card that is more of like, don't say anything, don't say anything. Like, it's more exciting, like more of a surprise. But this one's kind of like forced because there's, they're literally keeping their mouth from saying anything. So it's a little bit more sinister. They're not wanting someone to come in and maybe even speak about this house. There could be some kind of exchange or switch or swap of a house. Maybe they took a house from someone who they felt was on the cocky side, spreading their tail feathers. They thought they were all that. They strutted around like, hey, look at me. But you know what? Peacocks have beautiful tail feathers, and they were created to show their feathers in order to attract the mate that would be attracted to them, right? And it's so funny because a lot of it, to my eye, peacocks, unless they're different color variations, they all kind of look the same, right? So it has to be something to do with their energy that they protrude, perhaps, when they're showing their feathers or whatnot. And I know peacocks also probably do their feathers. This is just an assumption. I did not do the research on it yet, but it's just a feeling that they also will expand their feathers to look more like larger, perhaps, to anyone who might be approaching or a predator or something. I'll have to go look at that. But considering how usually nature has been designed, usually if they make the person or the animal look larger than they are, it's supposed to deter other people from creating harm in this person or this animal's life. But in this case, someone was upset with this person considering there's a lion here at the end of the row where the peacock starts, they probably saw this lion or this Leo um, in a way that maybe they thought this Leo was trying to be cocky or be arrogant, or maybe they just thought this Leo thought that they were all that. But the unfortunate thing about Leos is that many Leos come across that way, but they're so the opposite. Very humble, very giving, very empathetic, caring, nurturing, generous, things of that nature. So someone who does not know that many Leos, or maybe they don't go further than what they see on the surface, and maybe they don't have relationships with people who are very deep. Maybe they tend to have shallow relationships with people. They wouldn't have gotten to know this Leo to the point to realize, or even allow themselves to realize, that the Leo is a sweetheart. Total sweetheart. So, and the Leo is underneath this house. Another symbol saying that this person is all about home, family, generous, giving, nurturing, caring, keeps the lights on, works hard, things of that nature. And maybe they're finding this stuff out and they're just sick about it because they probably had opportunity to have time and moments with this person. Going back to the peacock, they wanted to create a circus for this peacock. Maybe they thought that the peacock belonged in the circus, was part of a circus, was a show in the circus, like one of the features of the circus. There's a lot of people that go to a circus, and then there's a circus that will always, well, they always, all of them do. They go from town to town, county to county, in order to show the shows to the community members who wants to come and take a peek. And maybe they were using this peacock as that. Maybe they were using this peacock as one of the shows, as I said, and people were actually coming and paying to see this peacock strut their stuff, do their thing, just be who they are. This is a medieval practice that perhaps has been going on for quite some time. Maybe since 90, where did I have that? Oh, 91. They're both the purple theme. So this could have been happening since 1991. Could have been happening since September 1st. How interesting when it's a 1-9 and then 9-1. Either way, it would be 1991, right? Whether each way you put those two cards, they're mirroring each other. The medlar open arse, as I said, is a medieval fruit, and people would think that the more rotten the fruit is, like it's time to just toss it and throw it away, but that's actually when it's at its best. That's when it's ripe. So whatever circus or situations that they tried to put this person through, it only made them better. It only ripened them up. It only brought them closer to their destiny, which in the medlar arse, open arse, it's to be eaten, to be broken open and to be consumed, right? So there's these rodents, sort of like a flying monkey, so to speak. The mice, where there's one mouse, there's many mice. There could be a rat in the mix, someone who's exposing and telling on someone. It could be part of that situational ship. Maybe somebody's tired of being part of this circus, the continuing circus. I mean, honestly, if you're putting so much focus on someone who's a third party or outside of your relationship, more than you are putting it into your own relationship and growing that bond and that commitment and that friendship and that connection with the person that you're with, I mean, more power to you, but I'd much rather put my energy towards things that are positive, that create growth, heck, that even create fun. You know, dodgeball was a fun game that we used to play as a kid. You run around and you have to avoid from getting pegged by that ball. I don't know how that was an okay game, but I guess if the ball wasn't so hard, then it would be fine, right? It's not like it's a volleyball. Those hurt. So there's a rat in the mix. Again, with the rodent and that squirrel, squirrels are very sure of themselves. When they go take a leap, they go ahead and leap to that tree and they just know that they're going to land. They don't care who is under that tree because they say, if I'm taking this leap, I know I'm going to make it. So again, with the peacocking and the arrogance there, someone didn't like it. The mice also go around collecting things, little treasures. The pack rats, they could be storing more than what they need. They've got all kinds of little treasures in there. It's like, what are they going to use it for? It's not like, you know, why do they need all this stuff? But it could be someone literally going around and maybe they're collecting evidence. Maybe there's some kind of case going on where somebody is researching the circus, researching the medieval tactics that these people may be using and manipulating, and they're collecting all that evidence and they're bringing it back to the playing field, so to speak. Someone could have dodged a real bad situation. Maybe something that was happening spring to summertime. Someone could have been real naive in the use of their tactics. Maybe they were arrogant in their skills that they thought that they had. It's possible that that could be the case. This person could be of the curvy nature. Maybe she's a little bit top heavy. They say watermelons, considering the melon aspect of that, that this person could have that kind of feature. When you're eating watermelon, I don't eat watermelon, though I do keep trying it because, you know, my mom always said you want to keep giving it a try. You never know, because taste buds do change. On that note, every 7 years, I believe your DNA cycles shed themselves and recycle into new. So it's like every 7 years your body chemistry changes or whatever. I think that is what I remember. And that could be the case with like even your taste buds. You may develop a taste for something that you previously hadn't really had a taste for, and maybe that's a message in itself. Maybe someone didn't have a taste for some particular person, but now they're actually realizing how great they are. And again, with the vomit and the moments, they could be trying to make this lion get sick. Maybe they were behind all of these moments of this Leo getting sick because of the house, considering it's under the house. The house is above the lion, so the house was of more importance than this Leo was. Like their loyalty and their strength and what they could provide to the situation was less important than getting that house. We've got the Leo. There's a snake in the mix. Snakes have two different meanings behind them. There's the snake as far as being a snake, like they're going to come out and bite you. In dream state, it's someone attacking you, attacking your character, things of that nature. But they are also a symbol of medicine and healing. And I learned yesterday, or actually this morning, after our shuffle and pull, that the snakes is also two snakes together wrapping around the pole is like the Kundalini awakening experience, where you turn that energy into yourself versus allowing it to dissipate or to be let go. Instead of that, you turn it around into yourself, transmuting that energy into yourself, into your own creativity, into your own vital life force. So I don't know what side of the fence we're on with that snake. Also, we just left the year of the snake, where the year of the snake perhaps is when we were dealing with the true personality of this Leo was coming out, or the truth of this person's integrity perhaps was being exposed. I'm looking at the watermelon. You have to crack open that hard green outside in order to expose the inside of that watermelon in order to eat it. Same with that medlar open arse. You have to open it up in order to eat it, to be able to see how great it is, to see the nutrition behind it, to see how refreshing and hydrating it is. You have to be able to break it open and get beyond the surface of those things in order to experience that, right? Now, this snake could have been someone who was against this Leo or this line in the past. Maybe they've shed their skin and they're coming into the new year of the horse, even though I don't see the horse on here. The new year as a pit bull, maybe they're coming in to protect versus to be a menace or to be vicious or to be misunderstood, so to speak. You see in the background of the pit bull card, there is all of those bones showing a sense of abundance. I know dogs love bones. Absolutely love bones. It's like the best thing ever for them. And they carry it around like they are just so excited. And they'll protect those bones. Right? And I know in the story before, I think we had the skeleton card, right? So we've got this owl here. I have to get to coloring, folks. We've got that owl there, and that owl is hoot hoot, ready to speak and ready to talk about all of these things that it's found. The bloom card is underneath the rodent card. So whatever was dug up or collected or whatnot is blooming. Let's see. We've got the blooming and then the house, of course. That's again with the nurturing, keeping it alive, taking care of it. This is in a pot. It's not cut flowers. Oh, that's cute. I just realized or remembered actually that the little lavender is there. Bloom is growth. It's cultivating the soil. It is, sometimes you got to pinch back those flowers depending on the flower. Do your research, please. Depending on the flower, you pinch them back and then it's able to produce more blooms, more flowers. Some flowers, they say you don't pinch them back. I don't recall which one. So again, do your research if that's important to you. Certain flowers need certain amount of waters and some flowers need a certain amount of sunlight. And maybe they're seeing that this person, this Leo, is able to bloom in any kind of circumstance that they may find themselves in. It doesn't matter the light, doesn't matter how much water and nourishment or attention that they get. They still progressively are going to be able to be productive, I guess is the best word for it. They're able to produce, they're able to be productive, they're able to make their environment be in a state where they can survive and still be bright and colorful and full of life. We've got this UFO card, unidentified flying object. Maybe this is something that they don't understand. They don't understand how this person's able to do that. Maybe it seems a little alien to them. Maybe they think that this person must have some kind of otherworldly gifts or experiences or help. They could think that maybe they even said that this person was brought up into a spaceship and taken away somewhere. Translate those word choices for however you'd like. They could involve flowers. I don't know. Someone could be coming in to give someone a bouquet of flowers or to give someone their flowers. There's a adage that I've heard about being given your flowers or pretty much reaping what you've sown this entire time. Now you've got this beautiful bouquet because of all of the work that you did do. Let's see. We've got this asterisk, which is paying attention to the finer details, perhaps in a contract or a clause, paying attention to something that's of importance It is also the star that was in the biblically sense about as far as the guide that was used to guide the wise men towards the birth. Oopsie. Let's see. Spiritually indicates Christ's tomb and the cave that he was born. In Arabic? Oh, in Arabic. And it's also the Star of Bethlehem. Indicates a limited fact or consolidation, which makes it less important or impressive. So maybe they're trying to make this person who is out of this world a little bit less impressive to anyone who may be trying to view them or see them, considering we've got the circus. It's like, oh, they're not all that. To mark a word or piece of text, annotation, or omitted matter, to cause attention to. In Greek, it means little star. He asterisked the things that bothered him. These things bother me, and these things I want to change. These things are making me sick. Perhaps they were trying to say that someone was making them sick intentionally. Again, with the Marilyn Monroe, someone could be trying to make this Leo, or someone who has the characteristics of a lion. They could be trying to make that person sick. Someone could be flying over water at this time. They could be trying to take flight or get out of the situation. They could be taking a trip somewhere. They could be going a farther distance to another country. Long distance travel, crossing boundaries. They could be crossing boundaries. There could be sonar. I guess we don't have the any of the USB or any of the electronics, so I guess it's not sonar. Taking flight, to take flight, long distance travel, crossing boundaries of that sort. And someone, the same owl who's talking about it, this owl is seeing these people do that. I don't know why I'm saying these people. Maybe it's more than one. The owl is wise. The owl hunts during the night. They're in the shadows. This one is not saying anything. Owls don't say anything or make any kind of noise unless they're wanting to be seen, which is what's happening up there. We've got the gloves here. Someone is fighting, or someone is protecting themselves, or someone is trying to hide something about themselves. Perhaps their hands are cold. While they're trying to pluck these flowers, these petals out of this arrangement here. Interestingly enough, that this love me not card is underneath the bloom. Someone could be trying to pull someone apart piece by piece. Maybe it's because this person may have rejected them. Perhaps they didn't have any interest in their advances. Maybe someone gave them flowers and they're like, I think you're so great. Let's get together. I would like to get to know you more. And this person might have said, you know what, I'm not feeling it, or I've got other things going on, or it's just not a good time, or it doesn't feel right, or it feels foreign to me. It feels like something I probably shouldn't participate in. UFOs and aliens was taboo for so long. It's like nobody knew whether it was real or not. There is someone who had mentioned that there's going to be some kind of UFO experience that's happening. This was in a church setting that this was shared. And they were saying that this UFO is going to say, hey, come with us. We'll keep you safe. But the pastor of that sermon had said, do not go. It's a trick. Do not go with anything that flies down or tries to assume that, biblically speaking, there is what they're calling the Antichrist, right? And the Antichrist is going to be a false Christ first. People are going to believe that this is the actual Christ that is coming to save them, the second coming. But correlating that to this pastor's story, I'm wondering if that's the case, that maybe the UFOs are going to come in and just say, hey, we are Christ, and they are actually the false Christ. Again, whatever I'm saying or sharing with you is just information and knowledge and facts and parts of things that I have come across, and it's up to you to discern what is true for you. I know nothing, to put it bluntly. I know nothing to be of truth unless I've actually seen it for myself, heard it for myself, experienced it for myself. But as far as any knowledge or education or anything of that matter, quite clearly, it's my belief that those things are, they were told by individuals, they were shared by individuals. Some information was created by individuals. It's like, what do we honestly know? What is true? What is real? And what is concrete? Information can be manipulated. Information can be twisted. Information can be created, especially now that we have AI. It's harder to even discern or just determine what is actually real or not unless you look really, really closely and check in with yourself to see what it is that feels right to you, what is believable to you. So I can tell you that 2 + 2 = 4, but maybe in some universe or some realm somewhere, 2 + 2 actually equals 5 because one of the numbers has more value than the other. I know it sounds crazy and I know it doesn't make any sense, but it's just an example. It's like, come on now. What is his name? Terrence Howard was saying something about the property of the value of 1 or the property of value of 0. I don't recall what it was that he had said, but he was saying that the way that we're doing our math is completely wrong and the values don't add up as far as the mathematics that he was doing. It's like, how do you multiply 0 times 1 and still get 0? Because there's still 1. You're still multiplying the 1 and the 1 should still be a value. It doesn't just disappear somewhere. Again, always do your research on anything that you hear, see, read, are advised to, just because it's important to do so and to kind of combine all of your own facts to whatever it is that pertains and feels right to you. Sasquatch is coming next, which kind of backs up that fact. I mean, it's elusive, right? Anything that is going on in the environment, it can be elusive. Is Sasquatch real? And I find it interesting that the UFO, it's underneath the UFO. People say that they've seen Sasquatch, they've taken photos of Sasquatch, but people are saying, no, that's not really, you're not seeing what you think you're seeing. It's just a person in a costume. It's just a illusion. It's just a created experience. But for the people who might have been there and took those photos, I mean, I don't know who they are, and they could have been actually seeing what they thought they were seeing, but I don't know why there would only be a few Sasquatch. It seems like there would be a whole lot more Sasquatches somewhere, and maybe there are. I don't know, folks. Just like I don't know whether the whole alien thing, they say that they have aliens in research facilities, and they say that they have evidence and they have actual life forms from other planets. I think it would be a little egotistical for us to think that we're the only life force or the only life form that even exists. I mean, there is even a theory that everyone on Earth is from different life forces and different planets, and we all kind of get here together and we all kind of work things out together in order to experience life and Earth on the realm of getting to know other people versus just our own kind, if that makes any sense. Considering the Sasquatch and the UFO is underneath the dodgeball and that forced being quiet, there could be someone wanting to force, obviously they're trying to force someone not to say anything. They're trying to dodge the bullet of truth. They're trying to dodge the bullet of responsibility. They're trying to dodge getting hit, perhaps, with the untruths or the illusion of, or the creation of some kind of story or I don't want to discount these two because if Sasquatch and alien life is actually true, I don't want to discount them for that. But I do find it interesting that we've got the flowers with the UFO, and then we've got the flowers with the Sasquatch. So someone could be saying, you know what, anything that that person says isn't even true. Don't listen to them, right? But you've got to decipher your own. Do you love yourself or do you love them more? Love me not. This is usually a person who has low self-esteem, because if you had full self-esteem, you would know that whether the person loves you or not, your life still goes on, and you shouldn't spend that much time and energy wondering if they love you or not. Just live your life and do what you need to do, because the right people who are meant to be in your life will always show up for you. If someone loves you, you don't have to wonder if they love you. They'll make it known, they'll make it obvious. Biblically speaking, love does not involve chaos or confusion. Let's see. So we've got footsteps here. Footsteps, footsteps. Originally, that was my child card, like someone's own child. It also could be a mentee. It's following in someone else's footsteps. Maybe someone is following in the same footsteps as being elusive, of being maybe not all out in the open. Maybe someone's following in the footsteps of falling behind the scenes, more so being more hidden and just footsteps. Walking together with someone. Rejoining community, rejoining neighborhoods, rejoining following the details to things. Maybe someone's following the footsteps and the details to finding out about this curvy person being part of this exchange or this switch. Someone's fighting this person who's trying to talk about things medieval that have been going on and opening it up, and not wanting them to visit somebody. We've got the owl here who is working in the shadows, seeing this pit bull perhaps for what they are, part of a circus, and just trying to weigh down someone else. Flying to this distant place, maybe to get some kind of medicine or something of that nature. Maybe to get some venom. Some poison. I don't see poison on the table. For this very showy work situation. We've got the 1 card there, so it's the beginning of a cycle. And then, of course, 9 is learning your lesson. Lipstick is making something up. Maybe someone made something up that someone had passed away. Maybe there's documents or files online about that. We have a siren in the background. Hey, Google, can you tell me about the first house?
It's a fascinating question. The very first structures were temporary shelters,
No.
tents made of animal skins and branches built by early humans. However, the first permanent houses were built by early farmers in the Middle East around 11,000 years ago, during the Neolithic period. These were often made using river boulders or sun-dried mud bricks, like the homes found in places like Zawi Chemishanadar and Catalhoyuk. Would you like to hear more about what those early homes were like?
No, thank you. But I do have to say that that was pretty interesting, considering we've got the first there and then we've got the house here. So maybe this has to do with something with the Middle East. That's interesting for sure. Google, can you tell me about the first house in astrology? Hey Google, can you tell me about the first house in astrology?
Of course. Since you already asked about the first physical houses, I'll assume you mean the first house in astrology. This house is often called the house of self, and is the most important one in a birth chart, as it represents your identity, personality, physical appearance, and how you project yourself into the world. It sets the tone for your entire chart and is ruled by your rising sign or ascendant. It covers themes like your initial approach to life, your vitality, and the first impressions you make on others. Would you like to know more about what specific planets in the first house can mean?
No, thank you. So that's interesting because we were talking about how someone perceives someone else to be, right? Um, hey Google, can you tell me about the ninth house in astrology?
I understand. That question about perception actually ties into the first house, but I can definitely tell you about the ninth house. The ninth house is sometimes called the house of higher wisdom. It's all about expansion, your personal philosophy, higher education, religion, moral beliefs, and things like long distance travel and exploration of new cultures. It's ruled by the sign Sagittarius and the planet Jupiter. Essentially, it shows how you seek meaning and truth in the world. Does that sound like what you were looking for?
Yes, thank you. So that's interesting as well. That kind of correlates to what it was that we were talking about in both cases. Holy Toledo, folks. Holy Toledo. Um, hey Google, can you tell me about the number 1 in numerology?
I'd be happy to. The number one in numerology is considered the primal spark. It represents the beginning, creation, and the energy that initiates things. It's known as the leader, or pioneer. People with a strong connection to the number one, like a life path number one, are typically driven, independent, and natural leaders who carve their own path. They have a high drive for achievement and are very decisive. They are ruled by the sun, which gives them confidence and charisma. Would you be interested in hearing about some of the potential challenges or weaknesses associated with this number?
No, thank you. So that's interesting because those are the characteristics of a Leo. And also, the number 1 is associated with the sun sign of Aries as well because I like to be first most of the time. Hey Google, can you tell me the number 9 in numerology?
That connection you're making to Leo and Aries is spot on, as both signs have that fiery, initiating energy. Now, for the number 9 in numerology, since it's the last number in the cycle, it represents completion, wisdom, and universal love. It's often called the humanitarian or the sage. Nines are selfless givers who feel a deep sense of compassion and a call to service for the whole world. They have a combination of energy from all the other numbers, which makes them very adaptable and emotionally intuitive old souls. The number 9 often announces an ending, which in turn sets the stage for a new beginning. Would you like to know more about the best career paths for nines?
No, thank you. Well, that was interesting. All right, so there we are. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. What better way to end it than with a confirmation? With that being said, thanks for being here and make it a great day.